Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live. Thank you to those of you that are watching the replay tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about the full moon in Leo, the astrology of the full moon in Leo. What I do in these broadcasts, I talk about the general information. I talk about the aspects that are happening. I talk about the stargates, the chakra system of the body, the Sabian symbol, the Chandra symbol, the gene key, and just briefly mention the human design gate. Because tomorrow night, I am going to do an entire broadcast just on the human design of reading for the full moon as well. And we'll take a look at the human design chart in its own broadcast tomorrow. So I'm really excited. At the very end of all of this, I go over all of the signs and tell you where the energy is happening based off of your sun, moon, Venus, and rising signs. So super excited to go over all of that information today. Let me say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, Kimberly. Welcome in. Hello, Carmelola. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Raven. Hello, Raessa. Hello, Jill. Hello, Jeanette. Hey, babe. Hello, Lisa. Welcome in. Colette. Welcome here. A lovely 9 degrees in New York City. Wow, crazy. That's cold. It's pretty cold here too, but not that cold. Hey, Nelvin, welcome in. Yoga Fundamentals, welcome in. So happy you caught a live. Maricela, welcome in. And yes, excited to dive into this full moon in Leo astrology. But before we actually do that, I do have a couple of announcements and fun things to let you guys know. If you are new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe and make sure that the notification bell is selected so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. Also, make sure to download my free moon astrology guide. The link for all of this stuff is below. And what you get with that guide is it tells you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It also enters you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report that goes out every Wednesday. So the next one goes out this next Wednesday morning, and it gives you the horoscope for the whole week ahead, looking at the moon, but also looking at all of the other planets and all of the other transits and what you can expect for the week ahead. People really love getting that in their inbox every Wednesday. The other exciting announcements are that the registration is now open for the Moon Goddess training. I am so excited to dive into a whole new year of the Moon Goddess. We have a program that is designed to basically train you, certify you into reading the Akashic records. And the way that it does that is it's split into 3 levels, level 1, 2, and 3. Level 1 teaches you the fundamentals. It's our basic initiatic ancient Atlantean mystery school based off of the ancient mystery schools of Atlantis that were found along the temples of the Nile. And we go into the Akashic, into each of these temples. We move through the energies. We learn sacred geometry, the dimensions. We learn the laws of the universe, hermetic alchemy. We dive into the gene keys. In level 2, we add on human design. And in level 3 is the official certification. And really, that's just a little tiny snippet of what we actually do. All the programs, the first level and the second level, we meet for 9 weeks, and the third level has a schedule that's slightly different, but we do a lot of practice sessions. If any of that sparks your curiosity, this is the most extensive program that I offer. This is basically like everything that I do all in one. We also learn astrology, how to read your own chart, how to read other people's charts as well, how to look at synastry charts, the asteroids, the goddess asteroids, the moon centers. I mean, it is jam-packed with everything all in one. So I actually did a live class where I talked about the program. It was an info and Q&A, and that is available. That replay is available in our new community platform, which is also free to join. It's called the Channel for Grace Global Community, and there's a link below in the description to join the community. Once you create your account, I highly recommend you download the app onto your phone, and this is where I host our free events as well as all of the courses that I offer. So Aquarian Astrology, which I'm working on transferring all of the information from our last platform to this new one, but it's so exciting to have everything all in one place. And this is where I also host the new and full moon ceremonies. So our next live event is actually the full moon ceremony this weekend on Sunday evening at, I believe, 5 p.m. Pacific, but I'm going to double check because I don't want to give you incorrect information. So the full moon is on Sunday. So we've got... Oh my God, it's so funny. I haven't added it to my calendar. I'm pretty sure it's 5 p.m. Pacific, but I'm going to go in there and check right now for you. But either way, you want to be a part of the community to be able to attend these ceremonies. Oh yeah, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern is the ceremony. So once you're in the community, you are able to basically post. You're able to see other people's posts. You're able to RSVP to events. You're able to chat and communicate with other people. So the whole purpose of the new community is literally that, is to build our beautiful network, outside of social media, outside of YouTube, where we can connect with each other. This is also where I'm going to be basically promoting all programs, everything. So please go check that out. There's also the Aquarius new moon ceremony replay up, and then obviously we'll be having our full moon ceremony on Sunday in the new platform. So make sure you guys check that out. The Starseed membership is also up and running, and so if you're looking for a deep dive into the astrology month by month, season by season, I always start by I go by the seasons, and so the astrological season. So we always start our month around the 21st, because that's the day where the sun always enters a new sign. And I do the astrology of the month, the theme of the month, and Akashic reading for the month. We have live events in the Starseed membership. I upload videos for all major planet ingresses, and also post information daily for important things that are going on astrologically and how they are affecting us. And I also do little mini rituals. I know that was like a lot, but that's literally everything that I offer. It is a bunch of stuff. And it's all found now in this new community. So excited about that. Raven says, come to the mystery school of Jai. I love that. Yes. So, and if you're curious, I will be having another Q&A for the Moon Goddess training info session and Q&A, and that will also be held in the new community platform. So come hang out with us over there. It is going to be a freaking blast. All right. Now, let's dive into this astrology. Let's talk about what this new full moon, right? It's not a new full moon, but it's a full moon happening in the sign of Leo. And anybody have Leo energy, Leo frequency in their chart? Because this means that this moon is going to very strongly activate you. I actually have my moon in Leo, although my moon is at 0 degrees. So I'll still feel it. And wherever you have Leo energy, you're going to feel this intensely, especially around 16 degrees of Leo, because that is exactly where this moon is happening. So in general, the full moon in Leo is a time of passion. It's a time of joy. It's a time of light. Leo wants to shine bright and be recognized. We all will desire in some way, shape, or form to be in the limelight, to find joy, to feel happy. You may feel more passionate than usual, more creative than usual. We got some North Node Leo, Venus Leo, Rising Leo, 17 degrees Leo. Awesome. This moon can really spark our creativity and inspire us to really express our creativity, express this side of us, this passionate side of us. Leo has a big heart, and this full moon gives Leo an opportunity to truly express it wherever you have your Leo. So if your moon is in Leo, this is emotionally, this is very intimately. If your sun is in Leo, this is like the brightness of who you are. If your rising sign is in Leo, this is about you stepping into the limelight, really truly how other people see you. So don't be surprised if people around you become extra passionate this weekend in expressing themselves, especially their emotions. Now, astrologically, there are a couple of significant things that are going on with this moon. First of all, the way that we know that we are watching a full moon in action is we have to look for the sun and the moon, and they always have to be opposing each other at exactly the same degree and minute. So this full moon is happening at 16 degrees and 40 minutes of Leo. Here's the quite powerful, intense, basically aspect that this moon is making, and it is basically almost an exact square with Uranus. Now, Uranus is the planet of revolution. It's the planet of the Kundalini that rises, technology. It's ruled by Aquarius energy, right? And it's interesting because you've got the sun in Aquarius, which is the Uranus ruled sign. You've got the moon in Leo, which is a sun ruled sign. And you've got Uranus in Taurus, where the moon is exalted. So this is a really powerful, I don't even know if this even exists terminology-wise in astrology, but when planets are in mutual reception, this is like a mutual reception, but like a trinity. It's like a trinity mutual reception. The moon is where the sun wants to be. The sun is where Uranus wants to be. Uranus is where the moon wants to be. It's like really interesting. So it's a little bit confusing, right? And Uranus can really bring in that uncertainty. Uranus can bring in that feeling of impending change is about to happen. Uranus can make us or remind us that nothing ever stays the same, because Uranus brings in unpredictable events into our lives, things that suddenly have to shift. And if we resist the change, we really won't. Yeah, it's a love triangle. I love it. We really won't. It's not going to be a successful, moving through the energy. You cannot resist the kind of change that Uranus, brings into our lives. And we're already feeling it right now because the sun is already squaring Uranus. And that was officially like very direct and exact today. And so it's quite interesting of a dynamic that's going on here between Uranus, the sun, and the moon. So this T-square is very, very strong. T-squares also bring up strong challenges. Squares in general, they challenge us to change. They challenge us to transform. And with Uranus activating the nervous system, this can be Kundalini awakenings, spiritual awakenings, sudden things that happen. It could be exciting. It could be challenging to move through, but we can't, we have to keep it moving forward. We can't stay stuck. We can't try to avoid the change or the shift that this energy brings to us. So what other aspects are going on during this full moon? There is actually not an exact, but a very beautiful trine and sextile to Chiron. And Chiron is known as the wounded healer. Chiron is about healing right now in Aries, our identity, our sense of self. The trines and the sextiles bring in harmonious frequency. So what this does is it invites us to heal. It invites us to see and perceive whatever shows up in our lives that is the sudden thing, right? Sudden changes. You just got to go with the flow. That's what Uranus is. Chiron invites us to basically remember to always heal. Remember that everything can be an opportunity to heal and release and move forward with grace. I really feel that grace is something that's so important for us to remember right now. The other aspect that is going on during this full moon is that Venus at 12 degrees is making a square to Mars at 11 degrees during the full moon. And Venus square Mars. So Venus is, the feminine aspect. Mars is the masculine aspect. Both of these energies live within us. Wherever they are basically, sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Can you put the volume down a little bit, babe? He's listening in the living room and I can hear my echo and it's a little bit delayed. So my brain's like, I can't think. Anyways, so basically you've got Venus, who is that feminine yin aspect of us. And then you've got Mars, who is that sort of masculine aspect of us. And these two making a square to each other create tension. And normally this is sexual tension in relationships. So this can feel like if you have a really healthy relationship, obviously, you know how that story goes, the sexual tension gets released in a positive way. However, if the relationship is not healthy, right? We all know what happens when there's like tension and things just, it turns into aggression and it turns into, mistreating each other and like just feeling a little bit, very much like things can't become resolved, like you can't really resolve things. And that's definitely frustrating. So that energy is frustrating. It's not exactly like, oh, yay, fun. It's kind of frustrating. So even though this is a full moon in Leo, and we're going to go into like the gene keys and all that stuff that adds so much more symbolism to the meaning of the full moon. Even though this full moon is in Leo and Leo is a bright, beautiful, vibrant energy, there's a lot of squares. So the squares make us have to deal with it in a little bit of more challenging way than it just being like a regular, like exciting, lovey-dovey, like fun full moon. there's things that are going on that are challenging us. And so even though we want this to feel like full on Leo, there's things that make it feel like we can't quite express it fully. So we just have to remember to go with the flow and move with the energy and do the best that we can to feel good. And it's also important to know, how all this stuff is affecting you in your chart, because there's going to be a certain planets that are affected more strongly, certain energies that are affected more strongly in your chart. And you got to look at the signs that everything is in, right? And this will give you more insight into how this is all affecting you. Lisa says, how do you think the energies will last after they're ignited? How do you think the energies will last? What do you mean by that? I'm not sure I understand the question. After they're ignited. Oh, you mean for the Mars Saturn? How long? How long do they think? Oh, okay. I get it. The transits, Mars is not moving too fast, but I would say like a few days, a few days of like kind of the intensity of that Venus square Mars. And then there's one more aspect that I want to talk about, which actually is going to be really beautiful and harmonious, and it is Mercury and Neptune. So Mercury at 22, Neptune at 23, and they're basically making a sextile. And so Mercury is the mind. It's how we think, how we process thoughts. Neptune is our intuition and our psychic abilities and the ability to perceive the beyond. And so, or intuitively perceive things. So Mercury sextile Neptune can increase our intuition. And this is really good. This is the good thing. We will be able to, or have an opportunity to really listen to our intuition. So with Uranus really challenging us to go with the flow and not resist change, and it bringing change no matter what we want, whether we want it or not, we have this little fun thing on the side that says, I'm going to help you to tune in. I'm going to help you to intuitively tune in, use your clairvoyance, use your ability to see the unseen and hear the unheard. And it will activate you in a very magical way and help guide you. So it's like, let your conscience be your guide. That's literally what I just heard right now. Here's the other crazy thing that is so powerful about this moon. Now we're moving on to the Stargate frequency. So this 16 degrees, I need to, let me get my book real quick. Give me 1 second. So there's a really beautiful energy right here at 16 degrees of Leo. And it's the Ursa Major star seeds. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Right around. Okay. So in between. So 1 degree at 15 degrees of Leo, we've got Ursa Major, a star called Dubhe. It's the alpha star of the Ursa Major star seeds. And you want to know why that's so important? For one, the other name for it is Liakish, the Liakish star seeds. For one, the Liakish star seeds are all about connecting to the essence of the pure light. It's non-duality. The Liakish star seeds come from a non-dualistic planet of pure light. And it's actually a place where souls who are getting ready to enter into like our galaxy and our solar system, they will wait in this like sacred space. It's almost like a bubble of light. There is no duality, and so it's a different experience than Earth. Earth is very dense and dualistic, yin yang, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, all that stuff. Light, dark. And so we have a very strong equal manifestation of the light and a very strong equal manifestation of the dark here on this planet. So it's very dense. Obviously, we all know that. So the Eagle Star seeds come from a planet that is pure light essence, and it's a place of rest. It's almost like your soul goes there. It can go there to rest in between lifetimes. It goes there before it officially incarnates on earth, and it's a place of stillness and peace and joy. That's the first thing. The other thing is that Dubhe is the star that is on the Big Dipper. You guys know what the Big Dipper looks like. And the Dubhe star is at the edge of the spoon. And it's actually called a pointer star. And the reason it's called a pointer star is because it points, if you look at the Big Dipper in the sky and you angle it, right above it, you'll see another star. It points directly at another star called Polaris. And Polaris is known as the North Star. It tells you when you can find Polaris, and you find it by looking at Dubhe. When you find Polaris, you know that you're looking at the north. So it's a navigation star. Polaris also represents literally moving towards our north star, our north kind of node energy, our future, our destiny. It's got that feel. Also, the Dashur and Saqqara pyramids, and this is something that we go into in the Moon Goddess training when we do the temple initiation of Dashur and Saqqara pyramid complex, which is a funerary complex that was built by the architect Imhotep, who is known as what was his name? He represents the 13th sign. The Ophiuchus energy is really present in the Dashur and Saqqara pyramid complex and Imhotep. And there's a statue of him inside this sort of like stone kind of covering. And there's two little holes in that stone covering. And the holes are for him. They used to think that it was for the tourist to look inside and see the statue in there, but it's not. It's for him to look out. And what those two little holes point directly at is Polaris, the North Star, right? The star of, I don't know why it's wanting me to say the Star of Bethlehem, but what I mean by that is like, it's the star that points us to destiny. So this is also right around these stars is exactly where that green comet is passing. Okay. I mean, there's like a lot going on right now. I'm sure you guys can tell in the collective, right? So that green comet is passing right through there. It's like the green comet is actually navigating towards Polaris. So like from Dubhe towards Polaris. And this full moon just happens to synchronistically be exactly on Dubhe, which is a pointer star towards Polaris. So the green comet, the color green of the comet, is the heart chakra. And we've never seen a green comet. This is also a comet that has not been around for 50,000 years and won't be around, I think, for another 100,000 years. Won't be seen on Earth for another 100,000 years. So there's a powerful synchronistic way that the astrology is communicating to us right now through all of, vibes, through all of these astrological events that are going on. And I feel a very positive change, but I also feel a very intense change. And I think that is what, if I was going to kind of pin down what is really like the biggest energy of this, it's powerful, sudden change in humanity for the collective, for the future. So that will guide us more towards the light eventually, right? Eventually. Like things always get gnarly before they get better. That's always how it is here on this planet. The pendulum is always swinging back and forth and back and forth. So the chakra and the system of the body that this full moon is connected to is the solar plexus chakra, which in the traditional chakra system, the solar plexus is our willpower, and our ability to take action and move forward and do things and actually like create things, like actually use our will to like make things happen. In the 9-centered system, which is human design, the solar plexus is actually connected to our emotions, how we feel, how we process our emotions, how we understand the world, how sometimes we respond to the world, how we experience either other people's emotions or really our own. So I would look into whether your solar plexus center in your human design chart is defined or undefined to give you some more insight into how you will experience this energy. Also, this is the digestive system. So if you have any digestion issues this weekend leading up to the full moon, then the energy is not balanced and you have to do something to, because the digestion issues are always the environment that causes digestion issues. And the environment can be literal, like direct environment. Is there something in your environment that's causing the digestion issues? Or is it something in your mental environment, like your own self-created stress, that's causing digestion issues? And that's what's important to recognize, is if you have digestion issues, then there's something not balanced. It's important to bring back to balance. And if you don't, if you're doing amazing digestion wise and everything that has to do with that energy, it's like, then this is great. This is actually a beautiful, beautiful frequency. So all of those things are important to know about in regards to this powerful full moon in Leo. I want to switch back to me here for a second. And hello, Ella. Welcome in. It's all good. So we're now going to dive into the Sabian symbol, the Chandra symbol, and the gene key that this full moon is in, to give us more insight into what are the energies and how to interpret them and how to see where we're at with it, right? So the Sabian symbol, let's start with that. 16 degrees of Leo. I have since Wednesday and tried. I felt a solar plexus move right before it started. Interesting. Okay, so here we go. A beautiful woman, arms raised and dripping with sweat, preaches at a sectarian revival meeting. This is about unflagging persuasiveness, charismatic propagandists. This is about volunteering in a cause or converting others to a cause. This is about firing people up to participate in political or spiritual causes aimed at bettering the world. This is firebrand musicians or orators. They fire people up sexually. This is infusing established organizations with one's ideals versus founding one's own organization. This is confidence in one's direct spiritual perceptions, think that they have all the answers, but can fall into dangerous ungrounded speculations. Some become cult leaders. This is using one's influence respectfully versus hammering away at weaker minds with forceful, well-honed arguments. This is about debunking beliefs based on faulty facts or interpretations. Demonize their opponents, holy wars, and spreading the word. It's about spreading the word. And I use some of those key phrases to describe the energy. Holy wars, spreading the word. It's the energy of finding the confidence to really speak your mind and to be passionate about it, right? A beautiful woman, arms raised, dripping with sweat, preaches, right? A sectarian revival meeting. Like, this is what I believe in. And I will chant it to the world. I will speak it to the world. So this moon is telling us, like, don't hide behind, your belief systems. Like, stand strong in your beliefs and be present and show up, with your strength and with your willpower, wherever it is that the universe is asking you to do so. Moving on to the Chandra symbol. The Chandra symbol. Okay, here we go. Elegant black women sitting on a porch and fanning themselves. Rising superior to apparent limitations. You defiantly renounce the letter of the law to salvage the spirit of the law. Puncturing pretense. Breaking down power and control structures. You are militantly outrageous, anti-traditional, pulled forward by a vision, a knack, an instinct for what this earth asks and demands. On fire with the power of radical changes. Ooh, that's Uranus right there. You feel in your cells the next stage of evolution. I hear mutation. Ignited by the sense for being selected out as the quintessential representative of progressive currents. You dramatize yourself, your cause, your expanding awareness. You want to make sure everybody knows that something new is going on around here and that it will not stop nor take a back seat to anybody or anything. Dude, that is epic. I definitely feel that way. Like something new is definitely happening here. And we cannot stop nor take a step back, take a back seat, to anybody or anything. We have to make sure that everyone knows something new is going on around here. The world is changing in a massive, massive, massive way. And this is this Leo energy that's giving us the courage to step forward and not be afraid, to just do what we believe in. Jump in. Take the leap of faith. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. So, the gene key that is connected to this energy is the 7th gene key. Virtue is its own reward. This gene key moves from the shadow of division to the gift of guidance and to the city of virtue. Does anybody have the 7th gene key in their gene keys or human design? Hello, Damien. Welcome in. So, the 7th city, repairing the world. The 7th city is an energetic blueprint hidden inside each human being. Despite many interpretations of the word virtue, true virtue has nothing to do with our concepts of morals or behavior. Anyone can behave in a pseudo-virtuous fashion, yet have none of the power of the city. We saw throughout the 7th gift how deeply this gene key is connected to the issue of leadership. In every pack of animals, there is an alpha, one animal that the others automatically follow. Among human beings, this is the case. Leadership is determined by genetics, but quality of leadership is determined by the frequency passing through those genetics. At the gift level, we saw how the authoritarian style of leadership gave way to a more democratic style of the facilitator. Here, in the 7th city, we find visionary leaders. But far more importantly, we find virtuous leaders. True leadership is analogous with virtue. However, the world has seen very few true leaders. The 7th city waits for specific times in history when the frequency of the mass consciousness is elevated enough for it to be recognized. Whoa! If the conditions are not right, then these people pass unrecognized at a collective level of society, even though they may have great influence on a local level. In the Tao Te Ching, the sage Lao Tzu speaks about true virtue as it impacts society through the superior man. Even though the language may be archaic, the message is pure. The secret of virtue lies in complete surrender to nature. Indeed, the word te in the title of this profound work is a word generally translated as virtue. It was also through this book that a wonderful and oft-quoted saying was born: virtue is its own reward. Therein lies the other great secret of virtue. It lies beyond the need for recognition and beyond the need to be of service. Virtue is simply unimpeded expression of nature through men or women living at their zenith. Virtue has been deeply misunderstood city over the centuries. Those beings in which this city has manifested have indeed led exemplary lives. The seventh city contains the seed of the future man and woman, an archetype of perfected behavior that few normal people can live up to. The confusion has come about because people at lower levels of consciousness try to emulate the behavior of those in whom the Siddhic state is flowering. This creates deep tension because virtue is a final flowering rather than a path in itself. The city of virtue is a guiding purity that pulls humanity into the future. Ooh! It constantly bubbles beneath the surface of humanity. Every truly virtuous deed done by human beings represents an upsurge in the consciousness of the totality. The city is in the fact, our insurance policy that we will never destroy ourselves. Everywhere, every day, people commit small and often unseen acts of virtue. And the power of these acts is incalculable. They actually offset the power of chaos. In the great Jewish book of mysticism, the Zohar, there is a powerful analogy to the journey through this seventh gene key. It is encapsulated in the Kabbalist concept known as Tikkun Olam, a phrase usually translated as repairing the world. The Kabbalists say that when the Creator made the world, He created a series of vessels to hold the divine light. Holy shit, you guys, you realize everything I talked about, all of this. I talked about the Liakish starseeds and the light. I talk about the tension, the Uranus. I mean, this is kind of blowing my mind. But as the light flowed down into these vessels, they shattered and fell towards the realm of matter. Thus, the world in which we live is made up of countless shards of the original vessels in which the divine light is trapped. The Kabbalists go on to say that every virtuous act committed by a human being helps to repair one of these broken shards. We can see from this beautiful metaphor how the seventh shadow of division represents the force that shatters the vessels and pulls the world apart, whereas the gift of guidance begins the process of reuniting the shards. The final result of reassembling all the shards is represented by the seventh city when you see the completed picture deep within your being. The one in whom this city manifests becomes Adam Kadmon, the perfected vehicle of divine realization. At this level of consciousness, virtue becomes the intent of the universe expressed through a human being. At the root of all acts performed by such a being lies the pure force of virtue, and this virtue has the remarkable effect of repairing the world. The seventh city allows a human being to see the certainty of the perfected future of mankind, and allows him or her to actually live within it. In this way, such people are truly ahead of their time, even though for them time has ceased, because they have remembered the future deep within their being. Ooh, I just got chills. There is an interesting figure, fugue, played between the seventh city and its programming partner, the 13th city of empathy. This is best understood by the ancient symbol of the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail. Whereas the seventh city pulls us into the future, the 13th city pushes from the past. These two great cities flower simultaneously in a human being, and they concern the collective destiny of mankind, with the 13th city representing the seed at the beginning of time, and the seventh representing the flowering at the end of time. Whoa, chills. These two cities have a mass of esoteric mythology connected to them. People in whom these states flower act as energetic guides for the entire human race. They have been called many names by many cultures: the keepers of the world, the Illuminati, the shining or chosen ones, but they have also been deeply misunderstood by many cultures. As a vital link in the genetic chain known as the Ring of Union, the seventh city finds a chemical link with the 4th, 29th, and 59th gene keys. Together, this chemical family contains the collective codes for purifying human relationships across our planet. The combined dynamic of virtue with forgiveness, devotion, and transparency sets the stage for a completely new phenomenon to be seated in humanity: collective leadership. Collective leadership is the stage beyond individual leadership, in which leadership becomes an empathically shared energy field between individuals, thus bringing an end to hierarchy. The seventh city waits for a specific moment in time to awaken in the collective. In the book of Revelations, this seventh city is represented symbolically by the opening of the seventh seal, which precedes the return of Christ consciousness. There are even deeper secrets here concerning the mythology surrounding the number 7. However, at this deeper level, we can perhaps see why the original Chinese hexagram was called the army. The army refers to a collective group of beings. In the book of Revelation, they are known as the 144,000, and you can learn more about them from reading the 44th city. Essentially, this group of beings represent the genetic equipment through which higher consciousness will first touch down at a collective level on our planet. Dude, Matthias is all over this shit. The term equipment is used deliberately here in order to dispel any sense of glamour concerning these so-called chosen ones. These beings are a collective fractal of leaders in which the cities will spontaneously flower over a cycle of many generations. They will be found at all levels of society. The core essence of each of these beings or leaders is virtue, the seventh city, and the language that unites them is empathy, the 13th city. Ultimately, the seventh city concerns the future, and the future is about children. As the seventh city flowers in humanity, I'm getting chills all over my body. As the seventh city flowers in humanity, one of the first places it will manifest is through parents and teachers. Children who grow up among virtuous people need no other kind of education or guidance. Even now, this small piece of information is the greatest key for parents. Children who grow up in the aura of true virtue will take that energy into whatever sphere of life they move through. And in doing so, they will slowly but surely transform the future of our planet. Wow. The raves, yo. The raves are coming in 2027. It's going to be insane. So the seventh gates in human design, we're going to talk about the human design reading tomorrow, same time, right here on this channel, is known as the army, the gate of the role of the self in interaction. It is also known as the channel of the alpha, a design of leadership. So we're going to talk about more of those frequencies tomorrow on the broadcast, but now I want to go through all the signs and tell you where this is happening in your chart based off of your sun, moon, Venus, and rising. And I do want to mention that there's so much that you can really connect to. I went through and talked about, the general energy of a Leo full moon, the aspects that are important to note during this full moon, the starseed families, the stargates that are aligned here. I talked about the comet, the chakra and the system of the body. We went over the Sabian symbol, the Chandra symbol, the gene key, right? All of this stuff. Yeah, right, Jill? And now we get to look at where is this energy? Where is this moon landing in our chart? So what I would do is look for your rising sign first. And then if there's other, sun, moon, and Venus, you can look at those as well, but focus mostly on the rising sign. And we'll go from there. So here we go. Aries, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. This full moon is happening in your 5th house. So this is activating your creativity very intensely. This is a time for you to let your passion out, to let your creativity out, to let your willpower out, to stand in your power, to stand in your will, and to express yourself in the best way that you feel is right for you. Taurus, sun, moon, Venus, and rising, you guys are having a 4th house transit. So the 4th house is the house of home and family. So this is an energy that is going to be activating this space for you. So what is home and family to you? Sometimes home is where the heart is. And that's the phrase that really comes through right now because of Leo energy. Home is where the heart is. Leo is the heart. Leo is the lion, the heart of the lion, right? The star Regulus is the heart of the lion, and it's one of the royal fixed stars. So royalty also connected to this energy of Leo. But this is where this full moon will bring you home. Gemini, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. This is 3rd house energy for you, meaning communication is a big realm where you will feel yourself being drawn towards this weekend. So express yourself, write, sing, speak, write poetry, whatever it is, journal, talk to people, express yourself, communicate, do what you know how to do best, right? And let your truth come through. Let your heart come through your voice. Cancer, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. You guys are having a 2nd house transit. The 2nd house is the house of being strong in your sense of self. But this is not just about your identity. This is about your self-esteem. This is about you valuing yourself. This is about also your relationship to money, finances, and the material world. If you don't value anything, then life won't value you back. So for you, this is about knowing where your values lie and then putting your whole heart into it. Leo, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. Of course, this is happening in your 1st house of self-identity, of your basically the way you look, the way you present yourself. I think that you may be feeling a little bit more inclined to really show or demonstrate that you are a leader, that you are virtuous, right? This energy, and that you are able to really step into your power in a beautiful way and allow others to really truly see that. Virgo, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. You guys are having a 12th house transit. This is a spiritual time for you. Moving into this weekend, you will feel yourself maybe in a spiritual bliss, maybe in a powerful spiritual transformation. Maybe you won't be truly present because you'll be kind of floating in the ethers, or you have this feeling of being elated or elevated. It's going to feel really cool, but also know that you can take it a little too far and escape a little bit too much, right? Because 12th house is the house of Pisces that takes you, pretty out there. So be careful, but also pay attention to your dreams, because your dreams might be really powerful this weekend. Libra, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. We have got a 11th house transit for you, the house of friendships, the house of how you share your gifts to the world, the house of networks, groups, connections. So how you connect to other people. This is you'll see the light, because Leo is the light of the sun. And it's going to shine a very, 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 very bright light, the brightest of lights, right? On this powerful place of networking and humanity. So look for the humanity in your life. Look for the humanity in the people that you connect with. And that's going to be a huge thing that really kind of shines bright during this time. For Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, you guys are having a 10th house transit. The 10th house is the house of career, of life path, of your mission, of how you're here to show up for the world. How are you here to show up for the world? So ask yourself that. You are here to stand in your power. You are here to stand in your, stand your ground, and you're here to be a leader and to be seen, fully seen for who you are, fully seen for what's inside your heart. Oh, that's so beautiful. That will come up this week. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, 9th house, house of expansion, spiritual integration, expanding your horizons, taking that leap of faith, learning something new, trusting in the unknown, going for the adventure, wanting the adventure. This can be an adventure that begins, that draws you, that takes you closer to your heart, that brings you closer to shining your true light. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. You guys are having an 8th house transit. And the 8th house, welcome in everyone that's here and saying hi and commenting in the chat. I appreciate you guys. I'm seeing a lot of new names. So hello. Capricorn, 8th house of death, change and transformation, mutation, the phoenix that rises from the ashes, the tower moments, right? The towers that fall, and then you have to get back up. The fire of transformation that forces change, but in the end, it's always good. It's the symbolic death ritual that takes you into a rebirth. That is really what this moon represents for you. How that unfolds can feel, in a very subtle way, or it can be in a very not so subtle way, but allow yourself to go with the change. Don't resist the change. Don't resist the rebirth. Don't resist the symbolic death that leads to your rebirth. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, 7th house of relationships. This is the place where you will feel this moon, especially intimate relationships, relationships with businesses, so business partnerships, things like that. All of these relationships in general will have you, will test you, will help you, will invite you to, will challenge you to step into leadership. Be the leader. Be the leader this weekend. Be the leader in your relationships. People need leadership and virtue. And last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. You're having a 6th house transit. This moon is calling you to be present to what you love, present to what you feel, present to what is important to you in every way, shape, or form. Listen to your heart, and you will understand how to be present, how to show up, how to be right here, how to not escape, but just be here in the moment and shine bright in the moment. And that, my beautiful friends, concludes our broadcast for tonight. This full moon is going to be really powerful. We will be having our full moon ceremony in the new platform. Please join us. It's called the Channel for Grace Global Community. It's free. You can join by creating an account, downloading your the app onto your phone. Mighty Networks is the name of the app, and then have fun with us in there. The event is happening on Zoom, but it will be held within the Mighty Networks community. So make sure you check that out. There's other free events that I host here, as well as all of my courses. Definitely check out the Moon Goddess training and go watch that replay video about the information and Q&A session that I did for the Moon Goddess training. Moon Goddess training starts February 20th. Don't wait to sign up. I love you guys so much. I can't wait for our powerful journey this year. I can't wait for our retreats. We're going to have Dawn and I, my husband and I, we are planning 2 retreats in Sedona this year. One of them is going to be in May 18th to the 21st. You can keep these dates in mind, start manifesting for yourself. May 18th through the 21st will be the Moon Goddess Retreat. We got some really cool stuff that we're planning. And the Lionsgate Retreat will be August 5th through the 8th. So those 2 dates this year are live retreats in Sedona. If you want to come hang out with us, the details will be coming out really soon. And I basically will be hosting all of that in the new platform. So just go on over there, create your account, and join us for all of the amazing things that this beautiful community has to offer. Thank you guys all so much for being a part of the channel for Grace. And I hope you guys have an amazing, beautiful weekend. I'll be back tomorrow right here on YouTube to talk about the human design. Love you guys and see you all again soon. Sat Nam.